The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and/or future. By no fancy recap from last night because these two teams didn't play last night. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to our 1982 replay tonight. The Baltimore Orioles and the Detroit Tigers. They start a big three-game series at Detroit's Tiger Stadium. You'll see the Friday night game right now or in a minute or two. And then next Tuesday, you will see a holiday doubleheader at lunchtime with the Tigers and the Orioles being one of those games. And I forgot what other game I selected because we've reached the 4th of July weekend. It would have been my wife's 9th birthday. Shh, don't tell her. So we got a good one for you tonight. The Orioles come in at 44-28. The Tigers come in at 44-28. The Orioles and Tigers lost their Thursday games to both Cleveland and Boston, respectively. The Tigers actually lost in the rain. Carl Yastrzemski was the big hero for the Red Sox. And so they beat again this big crucial series with the AL East all knotted up at 44-28. They are 7 games clear of both Milwaukee and Toronto. So right now, the only things they have to worry about are each other. And we got ourselves a dandy for you because it's Jim Palmer and Jack Morris. So, Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball 1982. Tonight from Tiger Stadium in Detroit, it's the battle of first place in the American League East between the Baltimore Orioles and the Detroit Tigers. All right, and so on a beautiful night, 82 degrees, the winds are, the clear skies, the winds are blowing in barely from right center at 1 mile an hour. Just as nice and gentle as a July night as you're ever going to find. And as we get ready for baseball, the cat is not abused, but she rarely ever is. No one intended, okay? And so it'll be Jack Morris, as I said, against Jim Palmer. For Morris, this is start number 19 on the year. Look how he's a baby face in that picture, isn't he? You're wondering about pitch count. Morris had a game in early May. He threw 147 pitches against the White Sox. His last outing was last week against these Orioles in Baltimore, the 27th. Must have been the Sunday because we did most of that series. He went 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, walked 2 and struck out 5, earning his 5th loss of the year. So he's 9-5, the 3.63 ERA, 143 and 2/3 innings, 123 hits, 68 runs, 21 home runs, 58 earned, and he has walked 42 and struck out 66. So it's a big one. Morris trying now for the second time to get win number 10 on the year. And this will be the lineup that he'll face. And we'll get to the highs in the chat in a second. Jim Dwyer is leading off and playing right. Joe Nolan is batting second and catching. I wonder what Earl Weaver found to drink. Cal Ripken will bat third and play short. Eddie Murray, the first baseman, cleans up. John Lowenstein, the left fielder, bats fifth. Kenny Singleton is your DH. He'll hit sixth. Gary Renicky in center will bat seventh. Floyd Rayford, the third baseman, will bat eighth. And Rich Dower, the second baseman, bats ninth. That is a wild lineup, considering that's nowhere near what the Orioles have looked like the last few times out. So, Al, Red Sox fan, how you doing? Kenny Castro, Max Cornelius, and Rob. Doing great. Glad you can be along on this Wednesday night for the Orioles and the Tigers. Let me set the Tiger defense for you. Larry Herndon is 8-5 and left. Kurt Gibson, a 6-6 in center. Lynn Jones is in right field. He's a 2 and a 7. So that Lynn has the best arm, Jones has the best arm, Herndon has the best range. Tom Brookins at 5 at third. Alan Trammell a 9 at short. Lou Whitaker a 7 at second. Rick Leach at first. He's a 5. Lance Parrish a 5 and an 8 behind the plate. And I know some of you like to see the standings before we go. You can see the thing in the American League East. It hasn't changed since we were with you yesterday. Baltimore and Detroit playing 6-11 ball. Milwaukee now 6 behind. They're starting to win some games. They've won their last 3, but they've not gained in. In fact, they've lost a game in the standings to Baltimore over the last 10 days. California, a 4-game lead over the White Sox. You'll see Chicago and Seattle tomorrow at lunchtime. Kansas City has won 4 straight, 9 out of 10. And you can see what's going on in the National League. Atlanta has won 4 straight. They have cut the Dodgers' lead to 8, which gives them some hope. The Dodgers and Braves are the only 2 teams that are above 500 in the National League West. Montreal still 7 above Philly. Next Wednesday in prime time, it's the Dodgers and the Expos from Montreal, I believe. So that's the primetime game. Remember, holiday doubleheader on Tuesday, and the primetime game on Wednesdays, the Dodgers and the Expos. What I imagine, right now anyway, would be certainly right now, would be the preview of the National League Championship Series. Jimmy Dwyer steps in at 317. A homer and 10 RBI, and let's get ready to go. Morris delivers, and Dwyer lines this one past Whitaker, and Baltimore starts with a base hit. So Dwyer on first for Joe Nolan. No relation to Kenny, who still likes dreaming. Joe at 301, 2 homers and 13 RBI. Morris, they need him to go a long time tonight, I would think. Pitch to Joe was he's going to bunt, and it rolls foul. Now, when Baseball Demo starts to watch, I didn't call that bunt. That was the computer. I'm surprised. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. Nolan is a bunt rating of 2 out of 10, which is slightly better than what I would do. Pitch from Morris is a liner into right field. That's going to drop in front of Jones. Dwyer will hold at second. And the Orioles are in business here to start the game. Here's somewhere there's Cal Ripken. Cal at 290, 13 homers and 48 RBI. And I'm not sure why I got that. My sister just sent me something. How you doing, Sports Time Machine? And Seth Ross. Here's Ripken. I think I told you. 290, 13 homers, and 48 RBI. Eddie Murray on deck. Nobody out. Cal hits a base hit in the hole, left side. Dwyer will hold at third. And the Birds are buzzing. They got him loaded. Nobody out. For Eddie Murray, who's at 379. 16 homers and 52 RBI. Game number 73 for both teams. Pitch from Morris, and Murray draws ball 4. Dwyer will score, and the Orioles have a run on a walk. And that'll bring up John Lowenstein at 222, 7 homers, and 19 RBI. Dave Gardner watching from the ring. He shoots, he scores! So Lowenstein making Jack Morris look like a Red Sox pitcher right now. Here's the pitch. Got him! He swung on and missed on a full count, and Morris finally has it out. It took 25 pitches to get there, but there's finally one out on the board for Ken Singleton at 264. 5 homers and 32 RBI. Morris steals, and Singleton pops this one into right. Jones is there, makes the catch. Nolan will tag. They're going to Parrish for the home, and no, he did not get him. So everybody moves up 90 feet. Murray to second, Ripken to third. So the sac fly breaks it 2-0 Baltimore, and here's Gary Renicky at 292, 6 homers and 24 RBI. So a good start from the Orioles in this big 3-game set at Tiger Stadium. And yup, the place, I'm sure, is as jammed as that picture. Pitch to Reddick. You got him, boys. Battle out of it. An 0-2 pitch paints the outside corner, and there is strike 3. But the Orioles get 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. After half an inning, here comes Jim Palmer. The 0-2, the Tigers coming up. And we're grateful that it's not a picture of Jim Palmer in his underwear. So this is start number 13 for James Palmer. A 3-time Cy Young Award winner is 5-5 on the year with a save. And a 4.02 ERA. His last start was Sunday against these Tigers, and he got his 5th win there. Going 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. He walked 1 and struck out 3. In 87 innings, that's right, he hasn't thrown that much. He's allowed 80 hits, 9 homers, 44 runs overall, 39 earned, he's walked 32, and struck out 40. And if you're wondering about that save, it came on May 10th. He went 3 2/3 innings against Oakland. Walked 3 and struck out 1, but earned the save. Here's the lineup for your Tigers. Lynn Jones will play right from leadoff. Kirk Gibson will bat second. Larry Herndon goes third for the Tigers. Lance Parrish cleans up. Richie Hebner, your DH, bats 5th. Rick Leach, the former quarterback, will go 6th. I wonder how those conversations go, by the way, between Gibson and Leach. We'll get to that in a minute. Lou Whitaker will bat 7th. Tom Brookins will go 8th. And Alan Trammell will bat 9th. And Jack Moores threw 32 hard pitches in the first. In trails 2-0. Is the thumb down the like button? Yes, Dave, it certainly is. Let's set the defense for Baltimore for you. John Lowenstein a 5-2 in left. Gary Renicky a 4-3 in center. Jim Dwyer a 4-3 in right. That's not going to win you any Gold Gloves out there. Speaking of that, Floyd Rayford is a 3 at third with a Butch Hopsey an 898 fielding percentage. Cal is a 5 at short. Rich Dower, 3 at second. Eddie Murray at 10 at first. There's your saving grace. Every time someone asks for Rick Dempsey, they don't get him. Joe Nolan is a 2-5 behind the plate. Lynn Jones at 278 and 3 RBI. And Palmer delivers right back to Jim over to Murray. 1 out. And that's how this one starts for the Tigers. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's Kirk Gibson. Kirk at 251, 8 homers, and 33 RBI. And he is available through July 8th. So he'll play this weekend, and that will be about it. Had a good May, and not a good June. Palmer delivers. Struck him out. A 1-2 pitch on the inside corner, and that's 2 out for Larry Herndon at 308, 13 homers and 49 RBI. Palmer's pitch, and that's a base hit up the middle, past Dower, and the Tigers are in business with 2 out. Lance Parrish at 304. He is overdue for some home runs. Has 9 and 36 RBI at 32 on the real year. Dave Little, how are you, my friend? Nice to have you along. Dave's basketball games are a staple of Friday nights. Pitch to Parrish is a fly ball to left. Back goes Lowenstein, and he'll turn and watch it go. That just creeps under the first deck, or under the second deck, into the first deck. And the Tigers have tied this game with 2 out in the first. I told you he was due. That's number 10 for Parrish. And just like that, it's 2-2. There's Richie Hebner. Richie at 264, 7 homers and 30 RBI. So that Oriole lead was pretty short-lived. Pitch to Hebner, fly ball to left. Lowenstein will grab this, and that will retire the side. 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors. After 1. Hope you got your dancing shoes on. Baltimore 2, Detroit 2. You traveling, Mr. Little? It'll be Floyd Rayford, Rich Dower, and Jim Dwyer for the Orioles here in the second. Floyd not having a lot of experience right now. He's 3 for 11 on the year with a homer and 2 RBI. Morris delivers, got him. He lunged on and missed a 2-2 fastball. 1 out, and that's 3 for Morris. Here's Rich Dower at 250, 3 homers and 28 RBI. Oh, return home on Friday afternoon. Have fun. Dave, I didn't have APA as a kid either. They made the hockey game. It depends on... We'll get to that in a second. Dower normally bats second for the Orioles, but tonight he's going 9th. Pitch to from Morris. Got him! He swung on and missed a 1-2, and Parrish held on, and that's 4 for Morris on the breaking ball. 2 away. So through 9 batters, Morris an inning and 2/3. 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He's walked 1, struck out 4, and thrown 42 pitches. Yeah, if you were a reader of those preseason magazines, and it really doesn't matter the sport, that's where they advertise from, unless you had friends that play games. Dave Little had APA basketball. Dave, and you finished your first, you got it in 1970, and you finished your first game, what, last week? Apparently that thing actually was a dribble-by-dribble game. Pitch to Dwyer. There's a line drive right back to Morris, and the Orioles go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. An inning and a half in the books. Baltimore 2, the Tigers 2. Rick Leach, Lou Whitaker, and Tom Brookins drew up. It took forever from what I understand. I guess they re-released it and made it better. But that game would be hard to do on boards. I've never played the APA hockey. But there's a gentleman by the name of Mark Zarb who did some alterations of that to make that a much more playable game. Rick Leach is up. Rick is at 206, no homers or RBI. He's 7 for 34 on the year. Palmer delivers, and there's a ground ball to Ripken. Over to Murray. You'll be saying that a lot in the future. 1 out. Brings up sweet Lou Whitaker. 286, 8 homers, 35 RBI. 2-2 to score. 1 out, bottom of the second. Orioles and Tigers knotted up in first place in the American League East the second night of July, 1982. Pitch to Whitaker is a base hit left side between Dower and Ripken. And Whitaker will take a look at second, but won't go. Brings up Tom Brookins at 237, 3 homers, 11 RBI. He's talking about APA basketball. Dave Little had one of those old handheld grocery store clickers to keep track of the score. Bought with green stamps, I bet. Palmer's ready. Brookins digs in. How you doing, Rob? Here's the pitch. Ball 4, and so the Tigers have 2 on and 1 out. So Palmer just kind of shakes his head. That was a full count up and in. And now we'll bring up the eternally slumping Alan Trammell at 201, 5 homers, and 28 RBI. Mrs. Rob showed herself on camera. Ah! That's cool. My wife's popped in on camera a couple times. But normally she just shuts the door. Pitch to Trammell. It's a fly ball to center. Renicky goes back, way back. It's gone. So Trammell lollipops a 3-run shot to dead center. And it's 5-2 Detroit. Here's the pitch from Palmer, and Trammell just got all of that. It didn't look off the bat that it was going to go, and it just kept going and going and going. It's a warm night here in Detroit, 80 degrees, but there's no wind. And so it's now 5-2 Tigers, and through 9 batters, Jim Palmer has only gone an inning and a third. 4 hits, the 2 homers, the 2-run shot by Parrish, and now the 3-run shot by Trammell. Puts all 5 runs on the board for the Tigers, and they're earned. He has walked 1 and struck out 1. Lynn Jones is 0 for 1. Who are you calling perpetual? Hey, sometimes that will happen, you know. Pitch to Jones. There's a ground ball to Dower over to Murray for the second out. You know, it's funny that you mention that because the press box at Tiger Stadium was so close to the field that you could always hear Ernie Harwell or Paul Carey. Paul Carey's voice was just as unmistakable as Ernie Harwell's. Through the open window, you didn't need a radio to hear WJR. And so, yeah, I mean, Trammell probably heard me. Here's Gibby. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Speaking of hearing things, you go back to the 1988 World Series and the infamous Gibson home run in Game 1. And talking about how a broadcaster got involved. Gibson's in the clubhouse watching the game on television. And Vin Scully, of course, the great Dodger broadcaster, but the great NBC broadcaster as well, has his producers has a camera scan the dugout. And as they're scanning the dugout for Gibson, he's not there. He's in the clubhouse getting worked on by the trainer. And so he's watching the game on Gibson's watching the game on the television. And Scully said, "It's such a shame that Gibson won't be in the game tonight." And Gibson says, "Oh, like hell I won't be. Go out there and tell Tommy I'll be ready." And so Gibby starts taking batting practice in the tunnel. And you know what happened from there, but a lot of that was Gibson just getting rather upset, for a family-friendly word, because Vin Scully suggested he wasn't available. He's 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout, by the way. Here's the pitch from Palmer. There's a fly ball to right. Dwyer's there, and that will retire the side. 3 runs all coming on the Alan Trammell homer. 2 hits and no errors. After 2, Detroit 5, Baltimore 2. Around in third and pointing up at the broadcasting booth. Oopsie me bad. So here's Joe Nolan. Joe has singled his first time up and scored in the first. Morris is ready. Here's the pitch. Fly ball right field. Gibson comes in and makes the catch for the out. No, right center anyway. Here's Cal Ripken. He singled his first time up. Dave Little giving me grief. Good for you. Dave Gardner's changing all his National League parks to turf for his replay. Joe Nolan looks creepy. Yeah, he does. But that's the way they all look then. Cal takes ball 4. 3-1 pitch in the dirt and inside, and there's 1 out for Eddie Murray, who walked home a run in the first inning. So Morris better be careful. Now in a 5-2 lead, top the third. 1 out, here's the pitch. Struck him out. He swung on and missed on an 0-2 fastball. And that will be 2 out for John Lowenstein. That's 5 for Morris here in the third. Lowenstein struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to right. Lynn Jones goes into foul territory and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2.5 in the books. It's the Tigers 5, the Orioles 2. Dave Little says Tom Browning left Game 2 of the '90 World Series to be with his wife in labor. The radio team put out an APB to get him back in the stadium when the game went into extra innings. And of course, that game was in Cincinnati. It wasn't in Oakland. Thank goodness for the Browning family. Sports Time Machine is supposed to be with me tomorrow night, by the way, for a Ron Juckett show. I'm trying to get Kenny Castro to be on, but he won't commit yet. Maybe Ken could be convinced to go on camera. Larry Herndon singled and scored his first time up. 5-2, bottom of the third. Tigers lead. Palmer delivers. Struck him out. Larry checked the swing on an 0-2 pitch, but it was on the inside corner. And a home game for Jose Feliciano, says he went too far. Brings up Lance Parrish. Lance had the homer in the first to tie the game at 2. His 10th of the year, has 38 RBI. What exactly is the grandstand? Well, if you saw that fly ball in the bottom of the inning, or the top of the inning, that's the grandstands. They got to go over to by the first base bag in the stands and by the foul pole in the stands. Pitch to Parrish is a grounder foul. Third base side. Count is 2-2. Palmer's ready, working quickly, and that's a fly ball to left. Back goes Lowenstein to the track. He'll turn and watch it go. And so Lance Parrish has his second home run of the night. And it's 6-2 Detroit. 11 homers for Parrish on the year. You're watching it again, and that was a no-doubter. And so the partisan throng of over 50,000 here in Tiger Stadium is in 7 heaven. 6-2 Detroit. Here's Hebner. Richie's 0 for 1. Palmer delivers, and there's a fly ball that's going to get in front of Dwyer. And that's a base hit. So that's the 6th hit for the Tigers. And then I'll bring up Ricky Leach. Rick's 0 for 1. John, let it be Lowenstein. Here's John Lowenstein. Here's the good friend. Here's the pitch to Leach. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Base hit. They are pounding around Palmer. Now Hebner is trying to get back to second, and he is out. He tried to go for third on that hit, and he hesitated a little bit too much. It's between second and third, and Dower tagged him for the out. So a big second out. Leach is on first with Whittaker at the plate. Lou is singled and scored his first time up. Leach will go. The throw from Nolan goes into center field. And Leach takes third. So it's a stolen base for Leach. And then the throw into center is an E2. So for the Orioles, when it rains, it pours. And so now with the runner on third, here's Sweet Lou Whittaker. Singled and scored. Yes, we all want to see you. Pitch from Palmer. Whittaker, fly ball to left. Lowenstein is there, and he said, let it fall in my glove. I'll run on 3 hits. The air doesn't hurt after all. After 3, Detroit pounding Baltimore 6-2. Don't worry about it, Sports Time Machine. It's early. The Yankees lost Troy Tulowitzki today. Not been a good start unless you are the keeper of the injured list for the New York Yankees. Here's Ken Singleton. That fly in the first, or to give the Orioles a 2-0 lead at the time. Now 6-2 Detroit here in the top of the 4th. Jack Morris delivers, and there's a base hit right side. And Jones will pick it up on several hops, and the Orioles have the leadoff man on for Gary Renicky. Gary struck out his first time up, 1 of 5 by Morris. Pitch, liner to Brookins at third for the out. 2-0 pitch was just hammered right down there, 1 out. Floyd Rayford struck out his first time up. It's 086 against righties. The computer thinks his batting average is 079. That's not even legally drunk. Pitch to Rayford. There's a fly ball to right. Back goes Jones and makes the catch against the track. So Singleton retreats back to first. Now we'll bring up Rich Gower, who struck out his first time up. So after a rocky first, Morris has settled in. And the Tiger bats have come alive. Lance Parrish 2 homers and Alan Trammell with a 3-run shot. Oh no. Mr. Little's got to come on too at some point. You two are both very interesting people. Pitch to Dower is a ground ball to Brookins. Over to Whittaker at second. They'll get the force there, and that will tie the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 3.5 in the books. Tigers 6, Orioles 2. Look, if I can vamp on ID's channel for 2.5 hours, you guys can talk 90 minutes on mine. Here's Tom Brookins at you know that. He walked and scored his first time up, scored on a Trammell homer. Ken Castro actually has to take care of work. The life of a writer. The last time anyone who worked 9 to 5 was probably never. Pitch from Palmer to Brookins. Line drive into center field. Renicky's there and 1 out. So that brings up Alan Trammell, who shoots the stink eye up here to the booth. My color commentator, the cat, has fallen asleep. Alan with his 6th homer of the year. And now his 31 RBI at 57 on the real year. Palmer delivers, and Trammell sends this one into left field, but Lowenstein's there, 2 out. So through 18 batters, Jim Palmer not having a day that he will remember forever. He's allowed 3 homers, 7 hits, 6 runs all earned. He has walked 1 and struck out 2, and thrown 76 pitches. His ERA for the game is 14.73, which approximately was the year that picture of Palmer on the left was taken. Pitch to Jones is 0 for 2. Ground ball to Ripken over to Murray. And that will do it. So no runs, no hits, no errors. We played 4 at Tiger Stadium. It's the Tigers 6, Baltimore 2. 25 years. Yeah, I'm telling you. And I was watching the Nats game today, and thank God I didn't, they don't have to cover that team anymore, because that is a heart attack wrapped up in a bottle of bourbon and bacon. Man, that team is a mess. They won on a walk by a kid that's about to get sent down because of injury. But, they're 2-3 and really should be 0-5. Anyway, here's Jim Dwyer. Jack Morris through 18 batters, 75 pitches, 4 innings, 4 hits. Walked 2, struck out 5. The 2 runs are earned. Dwyer's 1 for 2 is singled and scored in the first. So Morris delivers, ball 4. That's the year I was born, 1473. Well, that must make Clinton born in 1066. He came over with the Normans. Here's Joe Nolan, 1 for 2, singled and scored in the first. Pitch from Morris. Is it got him? A 2-2 pitch swung on him, missed, strike 3. And so that's 6 for Jack, with 1 out here in the 5th. Here's Ripken. Callis walked and singled. 1 for 1. 6-2 Tigers top the 5th, 1 out. Two teams tied for first place in the American League East. How you doing, D. Scott Howard? Pitch from Morris. Struck him out. Ripken chased an 0-2. Fastball on X7 for Morris. What's his high this year? His high is 9. He did that over 9 innings, May 30th against Oakland. And then on June 9th, he struck out 8 against Cleveland. So this is his third highest of the year, and there's only 2 out in the 5th. Eddie Murray walked and struck out. One of the 3 walks on Jack Morris' dance card this evening. Here's the pitch. Dwyer bluffs and then goes, and it distracted Parrish. The pitch got away from him, and Dwyer moves to second. The count 3 balls and 1 strike to Eddie Murray, nursing a 7-game hitting streak. Here's the pitch. He lost him, so Murray draws his second walk, and the Orioles are in business here in the top of the 5th. John Lowenstein 0 for 2. He has struck out once. Popped up, fly ball to center field. Gibson moves into left center, and that retires the side. The Orioles strand 2. No runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway home from Detroit. The Tigers 6, the Orioles 2. So let's go through the in-game box score. Itinerant Hobbyist, how you doing? It's always a beautiful day for baseball. You got the bit, yeah. So I hope you're all enjoying this. Lance Parrish with the 2 home runs. Alan Trammell after I badmouthed him with a 3-run shot. Here's your pitching line so far. It's a pretty sexy matchup, even with Jim Palmer dressed, and this has not been a sexy night for pitching. Jack Morris has pitched better than Palmer, but he's not been his Hall of Fame self. So Kirk Gibson, Larry Herndon, and Lance Parrish for the Tigers here in the 5th. Gibby is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Here's the pitch, and there's a base hit in the right field. That's going to go all the way to the wall, but Gibson is held for a single. Dwyer's tossing missed the cutoff man, but Gibson wasn't paying attention. Oh, not the game we spoke of earlier today. Okay. Here's Herndon. Larry 1 for 2. He singled, scored, and has struck out. One of the 2 from Palmer today. Pitch. Herndon sends this one into center field. Renicky goes way back, and that's gone. That is well planted into center field, and Larry Herndon points skyward. 14th of the year, and it's 8-2 Baltimore. Jim Palmer will be in the shower, I'd imagine, pretty shortly. That's a 9th hit he's given up. Yeah, not the game we spoke. Yeah, nope, absolutely not. We thought that this was going to be a dandy, and it has been anything but, especially for Palmer. Pitch to Parrish, who's homered twice. Sends this one into left. That goes Lowenstein to the track, and that's gone. And I forgot to show the last one, but Lance Parrish has homered 3 times tonight. Let's watch this one. So his next time up, he's going to have a chance for 4. And it's 9-2 Detroit. And Palmer's just looking in the dugout going, what are you doing? There's Richie Hebner. He's 1 for 2. I can't yank him because the computer's managing him. Hebner sends this one into right for a base hit, and Dwyer couldn't get there, and Earl is incensed. I have no idea why they have not pulled Jim Palmer. His ERA is now in the Zager and Evans territory of 20-25. Here's Rick Leach. He's 1 for 2. He has a stolen base and a single. Here's the pitch. And there's a ground ball down to Murray to Ripken for 1. That will be it. Whitaker up. Baltimore lost to Cleveland last night. The only thing I can think of is that the bullpen got blown up. Yeah, Ross Grimsley is on short rest. Here's Lou Whitaker, 1 for 2 with a run scored. Leach will not steal up 7. Here's the pitch to Whitaker. Ground ball to Dower in the hole. Flips it to Ripken for the fielder's choice. And for Palmer, the inning is mercifully over. 3 runs on 4 hits and no errors. After 5, it's the Tigers 9, the Orioles 2. Now Jack Morris, as he starts the 6th, gets the fatigue warning on 97 pitches. 9-2. So Singleton 1 for 1. Singled and drove in a run on a sac fly in the first. Well, it looked like Baltimore was going to run away with it. Pitch from the Singleton is a fly ball to left. Back goes Herndon. 1 out. Gary Renick to the batter. Gary's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Pitch from Morris. There's a base hit left side. Herndon will pick it up. The Orioles have 5 hits. They have left 6 runners on. May not mean much in the grand scheme of things, but the Orioles have had their chances and not made Morris pay. Here's Rayford. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left center. Back goes Gibson. Has it for the out, and Renick goes back to first. So it's now 77 degrees. Not a breath of wind. You can smell the cigars and the hot dogs and the Strohs all over Tiger Stadium. Rich Dower is 0 for 2. He struck out once. Morris has struck out 7 through 5 2/3. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Trammell on the grass over to Leach. And that will retire the side. Jim Palmer comes out to start the 6th. 5.5 down, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. The Tigers 9, the Orioles 2. That's right, Dave Little did some Cincinnati Reds baseball on Saturday. You can tell that he enjoyed Marty and Joe growing up. Tom Brookins is walked and lined out to center. Pitch from Palmer. Struck him out. 0-2 pitch, and it's a strike 3 call. Brings up Alan Trammell, who's still giving me the poopy eye out here. Allen 1 for 2 with a 3-run shot. And he sends this one into center field for a base hit. And yells, slump. What slump, Chuckett? Yeah, piece of women and children present there. Lynn Jones is 0 for 3. Jim Palmer, through 27 batters, is having a night he'd rather forget. 5 1/3 innings, 12 hits, 5 home runs. The Tigers have taken him behind the woodshed and shown him the business end of the spoon. He's walked 1 and struck out 3 and thrown 114 pitches. Now Nolan goes out to talk to Palmer. Jones is 0 for 3, and he sends out one to Ripken, who makes a fantastic play. Dower for 1, that's all they got. But Ripken saves a base hit. No throw to first, and that'll do it. The full pack is ready to come in. Dan Stanhouse. We got ourselves a pitching change. I thought it was Don Stanhouse. This game is coming to you from Tiger Stadium in Detroit. I honestly thought that was Don Stanhouse. Anyway, this is relief appearance number 14 for him. He is 0-3 with 5 saves. I believe this is the pitcher affectionately known as Full Pack, because when he would get on the mound, Earl Weaver would suck down a full pack of whatever he was smoking. His ERA at 5.09. Stanhouse, not Weaver. His last time out was May 7th. So the computer has dug deep here. He went an inning and 2/3 against California, gave up 3 hits, a run it was earned, and walked 2. So in 23 innings, he's allowed 30 hits, 13 runs, 3 home runs, 13 earned runs, walked 16, and struck out 10. Which may be the reason why Earl hung with Palmer as long as he did. Kirk Gibson is 1 for 3. He has struck out, singled, and scored. Stanhouse delivers, and Gibby slaps that one to Rayford at third. To Bauer to retire at the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 6, it's the Tigers 9, the Orioles 2. So Jack Morris again gets the fatigue warning. He's up to 111 pitches as we start the 7th. Tim Dwyer, Joe Nolan, and Cal Ripken here. So Morris has thrown 27 batters, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He has walked 4 and struck out 7. So probably Morris's last inning unless he goes pretty quickly here. Dwyer has singled, scored, and won. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. So that's 8 for Morris. Got him on a 2-2 fastball, swung on and missed. That brings up Joe Nolan, 1 for 3. He singled, scored, and was one of Morris's 8 strikeout victims. Here's the pitch. Right back to Morris, over to Leach, and there's 2 quick out here in the 8th. Here's Cal. Cal 1 for 2. He has walked and struck out. And Morris, if he can get Ripken, probably will go the 8th. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to right. Lynn Jones comes in, and that will retire the side in order. Stretch time here at Tiger Stadium. No runs, no hits, no errors. 6.5 in the books. Detroit 9, Baltimore 2. I'm surprised. It doesn't feel that way. He's actually smiling in the picture. I mean, there's some of these people I wouldn't want to run into. Larry Herndon will lead it off with Lance Parrish, by the way, is a shot for his 4th home run next. Herndon is 2 for 3 with a home run, and Richie Hebner is coming up. No bat third. So here's Herndon. He singled and homered. Stanhouse delivers, and there's a liner to right. Dwyer is there, 1 out. And this place just comes right alive as Lance Parrish steps to the plate. He is 3 for 3 with 3 homers. And if you look on the left on the chances board there, we've got him pegged as a 10% chance here of hitting his 4th of the game. Yeah, the bleachers in foul territory, Dave. So let's see what Parrish can do. There's 52,000 here, and everybody's up. Stanhouse from the line, and it won't be a home run, but it is a double into left center field, and Lance Parrish is having himself a night. That is 14 total bases. He just slapped that one into left center. And that's the 13th hit for the Tigers tonight. Here's Richie Hebner. Richie is 2 for 3. He's singled twice. So only Tom Brookins and Lynn Jones are without hits. And I think Jones is the only Tiger not to reach base. Pitch to Hebner is a liner up the middle. Renicky makes the catch for the 2nd out. Here's Rick Leach, 1 for 3. Singled and stole a base. I talked about earlier awkward conversations between Kirk Gibson and Rick Leach. Well, if you remember, Rick Leach was a quarterback from Michigan in the late 70s. Kirk Gibson played for Michigan State. And now you know. And the more you know, the more that rainbows shoot across your television screen. 2 out for Leach. Stanhouse is ready. Here's the pitch. And that's fouled behind the plate. And we'll do it again. Actually, that hit off of Nolan's mask. Pitch to Leach is a base hit into right center field. Parrish will score, and it's 10-2 Detroit. The only saving grace for the Orioles is that tomorrow is just another game, and you're only one game out. Lou Whitaker 1 for 3. Grounded into a double play, singled and scored. 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Tigers. 2 runs, 5 hits, an error for the Birds. Here's the pitch, and there's a base hit into right field. Got past Murray, and Leach is going to go for third. Wire will throw. Leach slides, and they got him. So Murray made the poor play, and that will retire the side. So another run for the Tigers, and the bushel full of base hits. 7 in the books. It is 10-2 Detroit. Uncle Ron neighborhood. Yep, it's almost over. We've reached the haunted house stage of the game for the Baltimore Orioles. So Morris has 14 more pitches, but he might be tired. And if he's tired, there really is no reason to use him, as the bullpen is as fresh as a baby's bottom, covered in Desitin. Morris might be tired, and the Tigers say, well, you've done a good job, young man. Dave Tobik will come in to finish this one out for Detroit. So we got a pitching change. Tobik, 10th appearance of the year. He's 3-2 with a save and an ERA of 1.42. His last appearance came on June 17th, so rest is something he's had a bunch of. He went 1/3 of an inning against Milwaukee. 19 innings on the year, 10 hits, no homers, 4 runs, 3 earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 13. And this is his game to get 6 outs. Eddie Murray's 0 for 1. He has walked twice, struck out, and driven a run. Here's the pitch from Tobik, ball 4. So Murray is going to lose his hitting streak, but he's walked 3 times. Brings up John Lowenstein, who's 0 for 3, with a strikeout. Pitch. There's a base hit that's going to go all the way to the wall in right field. Lynn Jones picks it up. Lowenstein holds with a single, and the Orioles have runners in the corners and nobody out. Ken Singleton is 1 for 2. He singled and hit a sac fly in the first. Orioles put 2 on the board in the first and then decided they wanted some bagels. Nothing since, but nobody out, top of the 8th. Pitch to Singleton, packed up, right side, Leach by the dugout. No. Someone from Grand Rapids got that. 1-2 the count. Tobik delivers, and there's a base hit in the left. Murray will score. Lowenstein holds at second, and the Orioles are rumbling here in the 8th. Gary Renicky 1 for 3 with a strikeout. His hit was a single. And Tobik is as rusty as you think someone is who hasn't pitched in 3 weeks. Renicky sends this one into left. Back goes Herndon, and he'll turn and watch it go. It's 10-5, 10-6. So the 7th of the year for Renicky. And the Orioles have turned this back into a game. That was a moonshot. Yes, we're quite sure that's not the Nats bullpen. Trevor Rosenthal, I don't think was even born in 1982. And if he was, the only thing he was throwing was poopies in his diapers. Floyd Rayford is 0 for 3. Bases are empty, nobody out. Tobik is a legit reliever. He had 9 saves on the real year. Technically, the Tigers' closer. Uh-oh, who got ejected? Somebody got rung up. It's Floyd Rayford. Tobik got him to strike out, And Jose Feliciano heard about Feliz Navidad and Merry Christmas, and Floyd Rayford is going to find the cold showers here at Tiger Stadium. It was an 0-2 pitch. He looked at strike 3. He got into it with the ump. And that was that. You don't watch if you think it's that close. Rich Dower is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So Tobic finally has an out. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Leach. Takes to the bag himself. 2 away. No, Tobic is not exactly Willie Hernandez. Jim Dwyer is not Ken Singleton either. He's 1 for 3. He has scored, walked, and struck out. But the Orioles have made this a game, 10-6 in the top of the 8th. Tobic delivers, struck him out. So after barking up the home run, he got the next 3. 4 runs on 3 hits, and at least we'll have an interesting finish. 7.5 in the books. Tigers 10, Orioles 6. So Brookins, Trammell, and Jones to face Stanhouse, who has not caused too many hyperventilations for Mr. Weaver. Brookins 0 for 2. He has walked, struck out, and scored. Bobby Catalano joins us now. How you doing, Bobby? Stanhouse delivers, and Brookins sends this one in a shallow right. Dwyer is there, and he dropped it. And Brookins is going in the second on a 2-base hit. I don't know if Dwyer lost that in the lights or what. There's absolutely not a breath of wind. It's 74 degrees. It's well past dark. And Dwyer just lost control of it. He went to close the glove, and it bounced off the glove. And so all the work the Orioles did in the top of the inning has been kind of taken away for the moment. Here's Trammell. Trammell still says a few choice words to me as he steps to the plate. He's 2 for 3 with a homer and 3 RBI. Stanhouse delivers. Ball 4. Brings up Lynn. No. I'm going to pinch hit for Lynn Jones here against the righty. We're going to bring in Chet Lemon, who'll play the top of the 9th in right field. 324. 7 homers and 40 RBI. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Bottom of the 8th. 10-6 Detroit. And now Nolan and Stanhouse exchange a few signs. And Lemon is hit by the pitch. So Tempers Fugit here. Got him in the ribs. And everybody moves up 90 for Kirk Gibson. He was 1 for 4. Has singled, scored, and struck out. Here's the pitch to Gibby, and there's a ground ball to Ripken. He throws to Dower for 1 to Murray. They better hurry. Got it. No. Gibson beats it out, and Brookins will score. So it's 11-6. And that brings up Larry Herndon is 2 for 4. If Herndon does not ground into a double play, Parrish will get another chance for his 4th home run. So Herndon has a homer himself. He singled and homered, 2 for 4. Driven in 2 and scored twice. Also struck out. Pitch from Stanhouse, and there's a ground ball to Bonner, who's now at short. Trammell's going to try and score. They're going to try and turn 2. Dower for 1 over to Murray. And they got him. It's a double play. So the Orioles get out of it, but the Tigers get another run. We go to the top of the 9th. Kent Lemon goes into left field. And those are my best defensive options. So Dave Tobic with a 5-run lead now will face maybe Joe Nolan. I don't know why that creeps you out. Is it the glasses? I had a pair of glasses like that. He's smiling. I can show you some pictures of Don Mossy. That's pretty scary. It's the grin, I guess. the axe murdered Grant. Poor Joe. Catcher for the Braves, too. Pitch to Joe as a fly ball to left. That goes Herndon. 1 out. He got it in the corner by the foul line, and that's the first out. 6 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Baltimore. They've stranded 7. 11 runs, 15 hits, no errors for the Tigers. They've left 4 on. Cal Ripken is 1 for 3. He has singled, walked, and struck out. Game 2 of the Friends of the Community baseball series is on Baseball Demos channel at 8:30. So about a half hour from now. Unless the Orioles pull one out. And I don't believe Ellis Hobbs is in attendance tonight. Pitch to Ripken. There's a liner in the left. Herndon's there. 2 out. So Eddie Murray's up. Eddie has walked 3 times. He's got 1 more chance to extend his hitting streak to 7 games. Walked home a run in the first. And his 0 for 1 came on the strikeout. So it's Seattle and Chicago tomorrow at noon. Sports Time Machine and I chat tomorrow night around 8 o'clock. And I want to say a special shout out, if you are a hockey fan or if you've ever watched the CBC, you know Bob Cole. You know the voice. He's been the hockey voice up in Canada for 1,000 years, 51 years. He's called hockey. And his last game is Saturday night. He will call the Habs and the Canadiens and the Maple Leafs on the last game of the regular season. And if you've ever watched hockey or ever watched hockey highlights, you know the voice. He is the quintessential, he is the Vin Scully of the sport and will be missed. And a grand salute to Bob Cole. You go on YouTube and find some highlight packages, and just one of the all-time best. And he always would overpronounce the word Detroit. And so kind of fitting that I'd be doing this game in Detroit. He would pronounce that, he would elongate that second syllable. Detroit. Anyway, here's Murray. Tobic delivers, and there's a fly ball to right center. Gibson will have it. The Tigers have won. And for the moment, they hold first place in the American League East. An 11-6 beatdown that should have been a lot more. Jim Palmer, 5 2/3 innings, 12 hits, 9 runs, all earned, 5 homers, including 3 by Lance Parrish. He walked 1 and struck out 3. Stan House goes 2 1/3 to finish it. Jack Morris picks up his 10th win of the year. He's now in the Woolworth category at 10-5. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, walked 4 and struck out 8. He could have only thrown 126 pitches. Dave Tobic, 4 runs, 2 innings, 3 hits, the homer to Renicky. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. The Tigers are in first place. They're 45-28. The Orioles fall to 44-29. Let's get the rest of the Friday played. Cardinals beat the Cubs 9-6. Expos doubleheader. They won the opener over Pittsburgh 7-2. And Pittsburgh took the nightcap 5-4 in 10. The Mets beat the Phillies 8-3. That's what Montreal wants. Yankees beat the Indians 8-5. Reds shut out the Braves 5-0. Toronto beat Minnesota 7-3. Kansas City Dallas, California 7-6. Milwaukee 4, Boston 1. San Francisco and San Diego played a 14-inning first game doubleheader. 15-12 was that score. Oakland beats Texas 5-4. Dodgers lose to Houston 2-1. And the nightcap, San Diego beat San Francisco 9-5. So we'll let those standings flash in front of you for a second. Chicago within 3.5 of California. Montreal 7.5 on Philly. And the Dodgers, way up. Yep. Detroit. Yep. Detroit. T. Scott Howard says Don Mossy looks like a cap with the doors thrown open. Yep. Edmonton, Toronto, Calgary. All right. There you go. So there you go. The final score. It'll be Detroit beating Baltimore rather easily. And so until tomorrow at noon, I'm Ron Chucker. Hey, thanks for watching, you guys. 8:30 on Baseball Demos Channel, Game 2 of the Friends of the Community Series. Al Red Sox fan goes against Stratomatic, Delaware. And until tomorrow or tonight, it's good night from Detroit.